email?
I did.
Any opinions yet?
Not yet. Yeah, not yet.
I'm gonna ask Susan. I don't think it'd qualify Joe money, right money.
No.
I
No,
don't think so.
I don't think so either, but
But those kind of houses would be kind of nice. It's gonna be like $6 high homes, 7 maybe.
there's like 20 of them.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
Right, right.
So it'd be a good investment.
Yeah.
All right. 9 o'clock, please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
What we say.
All right. Allergies this time of year is just terrible.
Got a motion to approve the minutes from previous meeting?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion.
Sorry,
motion
Jim.
carried. Actually, it might have been all the sawdust from building the bathroom. The insulation yesterday.
Better you than me.
Do you want me to go over this morning?
Yeah, we can go over it next time or whatever.
Follow it if you want to follow today.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Tell us what you're in.
Okay.
Morning, Clint. Morning, Rob. All right, Mr. Bailey.
All right. Be quick today, no permits. Commissioner O'Hara, reminder, meeting today at 1:30 at the Sheriff's Department in regards to oversized loads. BKHP, the Sheriff's Department, you and I, well, you guys voted on that last meeting, so reminder on that. Asphalting on 125th started yesterday on the north end and made it almost one past the Tomahawk yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't get a good start, but we got a start, so we will,
Start on 54, one going north.
no, we started on the north end going south,
Okay,
working
where'd you
towards.
start at?
Yeah.
Where you guys left off.
Okay.
Just past, I don't know, it's about a mile and,
Yeah, I kind of know where it was.
At the
3/10.
top of the hill.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so. Roadside mowing's completed, one pass through. We'll wait for heavy frost and see about going back through, this time mowing closer up to the fences and get to the property lines. Work on that. Commissioner Harris, your culvert marker on 240th was installed.
Was it?
Yeah, well, we reinstalled it.
Okay.
And then
Thank you.
filled some potholes out around the lake as well.
Thank you
that
very much.
Yeah, call about on that. And then as far as windmills, 27 towers have been erected, 16 in Bourbon County, 11 in Crawford County. They are planning a crane crossing on Highway 3 on the 11th, which I believe is next Monday. Again, that's tentatively, not for sure whether they will do that or not, but that is planned. Also, I know there was some concern on this one, but KDOT has closed Highway 39 today due to some culvert issues. They closed it at Highway 3 going west. Should be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and fielded some phone calls over the weekend on that. So, but anyhow, should be open back up today. That's my understanding on that. And then as far as windmills, they started reclaiming. The reclaim work has begun on the public road radiuses and the private accesses. So that gives you kind of an update there. And that is all I have today. Anything for me?
No,
Nope.
really.
All right.
Not a thing.
All right. I think.
I can say we had Eric and I had a meeting with some of the patrons last week on Yale Road, and it went well.
Right. I thought it went real well, so. I think
Good.
Justin, so go ahead, did you?
I said, good, I'm glad you had a meeting with them.
Yep, yeah. I think
They-
he's,
They understand the base, what you,
what we're dealing with on the base,
Well, it doesn't
yes.
have a base.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it has a base, but XYZ, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work. It holds
No.
moisture,
Yeah.
and it just tears the road up in the winters, freezing thaws, and you got
Yeah.
potholes.
Right.
Plus, we've been getting some heavier traffic on that road,
So
which
at some
is
point
not
you'll
good
start
on
up and
that.
Take off
We'll,
reclaiming.
yeah, on the west of the entrance to the lake. Go back.
How's the east side, okay?
No,
No, it's not.
So when will you do that? Just somewhere down the road?
somewhere,
Somewhere.
somewhere.
I know that answer, but I'm not gonna say it, so.
Yeah, it's inevitable. Let me see where Justin's at. We got a contract to go over with you real quick on our bridge
Okay,
that we got the grant for.
okay, great. I was messing with the installation yesterday, and hate that stuff.
I'm not gonna do that, so.
Why not?
Because I don't have to. I'll hire it done.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. He has we received a contract from Schwab Eaton, I believe it is.
That's correct.
In regards to the bridge that we got the grant for. This is part of the engineering and what have you that was in the packet from the get-go, but I had Justin review the contract.
It basically is a normal field survey, culvert designs, R&W descriptions, strip. They're just basically doing everything that needs to fix the bridge. It's $35,000. It's easily terminated by either Schwab Eaton or by the county if things don't go right. It's 6 pages. I reviewed it. I got this morning, got up kind of early and looked at it this morning. So it's a good contract, and it's the way you're gonna have to move forward. You need the engineering plans to fix that bridge. So
Right. And it was in their estimate from the
What
start.
road's that on? One what?
160th, I believe.
Okay.
It's either 160th or 165th, one of the
Okay,
two.
1 or 2.
Bridge,
Pardon?
the Grant Bridge?
Yes, yeah. And this was included in their price estimate and what have you. But I'll need you guys to sign the last page here. I can send it all around however you want. Fern and just to the south between Fern and 739. It's closer to Fern.
Fern and 100 and,
60th, I believe.
yeah, okay.
60th, yeah.
And I don't know if you need to make a motion on or how that works with,
Yeah,
We
probably
have
to.
to sign it.
okay?
It's my area, I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion to approve the contract between Bourbon County and
There's the bridge number on
Schwab
the top.
Eaton
15.
for project number 15.0-U2 for a bridge on 160th to move forward with the engineering and the right-of-way establishments, and this contract can be broken anytime per our county counselor.
Second.
Any discussion? And that includes signatures.
Yes. Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
All right. Ashley, that's got a spot on there for you to sign as well. So if you just want to get that to Jennifer when it's done, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So that's all the bids, we got 3. All right. All right, next on our agenda is open the seal bids for
Okay.
insurance. You wanna
Okay.
do that?
Yep, I can do that.
Got it? 3 of them.
Okay, I guess we're ready. First one's an Atkins Insurance, 3 East Wall Street, Fort Scott, Kansas. not gonna look this over, see if it meets our proposal. I'm just gonna tell you the price, and we can look over. The total quote for a premium is $64,326. Next sealed bid is,
How much was that, Ken? Sorry.
letter opener, don't I? Do this much of this. K-Works. It's all the same.
Jim, there should be 4 in there, 1 for.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just make sure I didn't,
Okay.
wasn't a bigger number on the back.
Read that small.
I know you're pretty good, yes, but not that well. $33,347 from K-Works. Wow,
I didn't want that one falling apart.
I'll fix that tape deal right here. Maybe. Cut up a bit, probably. Lots of papers in this one. This one's from K-Camp, out of Topeka, Kansas. And it looks like there's a one for each one of us in here. See no numbers yet. Yeah, you'll make me look for it.
I think there's someone here who probably pointed out to us.
Yeah. I see,
On the cover letter, right at the very bottom. is
which, oh, the cover letter,
Cover letter,
248,638,
yep.
okay?
Say that again.
And that is,
248,638 from K-Camp.
and that is comprehensive,
Pardon?
comprehensive.
Yeah.
638. Okay.
All righty.
Get that one back to you.
All righty, thank you, sir.
Get this one back to you.
So we have some
Quite a spread.
business here that wants to do a presentation on the policies, all right, give us a quick overview or whatever.
Yeah, there's quite a spread there, we better listen.
Yeah, probably so.
I'll just go real quick.
Sure.
Of course, I was down here about a month ago to meet with you. We went over all the defensive driving, forklift training, and all the quarterly inspections that we do for OSHA. So I don't want to really bore you with that again. But one thing I do want to tell you that you guys have been doing a great job. Your experience mod is basically your safety rating, and that comes out from NCCI. And you guys actually, and that stays on for 3 years. So actually, you went down from a 1.14. Anything over 1 is kind of, is iffy, but below is great. And so, you guys went from a 1.14 to a 0.75, which is really good, and that really affects the rate on work comp because it is a multiplier. We'd love to keep you on, and I hope the numbers speak for themselves.
And that's K-Works.
That's
K-Works, yes, this is for your street and road quarry operation driver, ambulance, police officers and drivers, appraisal,
It'd be your work
administration,
comp.
Okay.
clerical, attorneys, building maintenance, parks and rec, refuge collection, and county employees.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Any other questions?
Well, thank you. Nick?
Harvey Felsky representing K-Camp. When you opened the bids, I assumed that the Atkin bid was for work comp only? Is that right? Okay. Well, I don't then need to sell you much because there's nobody else to quote against us. But just kind of let you know, you guys have been with us a long time, and we're more than insurance, we're also about risk management. And we had Mara Chambers do a utilization review. And in the last 6 years, 6+ years, you guys have used attorney assist to the tune of $17,600, contract reviews another $860, defensive driving $1,406, K-Camp Online U $18,500, LLRMI $36,000. That's the legal liability risk management for the sheriff's department. Legal-based jail guidelines $1,495. You received a loss ratio award of $600, and you've used risk avoidance grants totaling $99.66. So in terms of what you've utilized outside of insurance, outside of paying claims, $86,367 in the last 6+ years. So we really think that's where we're different than the commercial insurance market. Most of the insurance markets, they'll come out, they'll do inspections, more for their purposes than for your purposes. This is risk management that we help the members out with. So, we've talked a couple times about the program, and I think you guys are all pretty comfortable with how we provide pretty comprehensive coverage. Not just property and general liability and auto coverages, but also public officials liability, cyber, crime coverages. We got the bonds for you guys. So unless there's any questions, I think we need to keep the relationship together. Thank you.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
We have one more?
I'm David Luke with K-Camp, I'm the administrator.
Oh, you're K-Camp administrator?
Also, yeah, if I could just say, I mean, just so you know, we were down at Montgomery County yesterday, and same result. So
Okay.
I just want to, not to beat up on the commercial market, but this is exactly why pools were formed. And Bourbon County was a charter member of K-Camp. You all joined with your 36 other counties to form the pool, and this is exactly why. Because the commercial market, they're in, they're out, they're raising rates significantly one year, they'll drop it when they bid, they'll go right back up. We're in this for the long haul. We're here for Kansas counties and Kansas municipalities only. We're not going anywhere. And our rates are designed, we have had to do increases the last couple of years, but that was the first time in many years. Our goal is to really provide you with stable rates year to year. And again, as Harvey said, to help you manage the risks. Jess talking about your XMOD and the work comp going down. That's really the goal of the pool, is to help you, give you the services, to help you get those losses down and keep your costs stable from year to year. So we really enjoy the partnership. Actually, the Legal Liability Risk Management Institute model policies and procedures that we have for law enforcement now for all of our counties across the state, we got that in part because your sheriff served on a working group with other sheriffs from other counties, and we looked at different products and went with that product in part because of his input. So this really is a partnership, and we appreciate your participation in the program. So thank you.
Great. So one of the things we said we were going to do is we was going to allow Susan to look over the bids and give us a opinion on apples to apples on this. So thanks for bringing in your bids, and we'll let you know as soon as we put it on the agenda, make a decision.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Jeff. Yeah.
Have a safe trip back, guys.
Thank you.
Assuming that K-Works and Atkins were just for workman's comp.
What's that?
The two.
Workman's comp only.
Yeah. And the other one was for the liability and,
Yeah, and I can
Property.
read a little bit on that.
yeah.
We got the face letter. It says, enclosed you'll find a quote for Bourbon County's worker compensation policy. We were unable to obtain a quote for the property and liability, as we did not receive all the information we requested from the sheriff's department and some of the cyber liability information. I would like to The Kendall Masons and the clerk's office have been excellent to work with. If you decide to go with our quote on workers' comp, we'll need some additional information, mostly regarding volunteer employees and or subcontractors. We appreciate the opportunity to quote the county's insurance, and we'll be looking forward to quoting in the future. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact our office.
Yeah.
So I will pass these off to Sue.
Okay, very good.
Thanks, Ashley. All right.
Want me to go get Mr. Wallace?
What's that?
I'll go get Mr. Wallace.
Okay. Very good.
So you got a date set for a debate, looks like.
Oh, good, finally.
Yeah.
Anybody will show up at Memorial Hall.
I mean, the people running or the audience?
No, the audience. They closed the genealogy library because of black mold.
Yeah.
I think I need to get David.
Why don't move it to the college? Wonder why they didn't use the college building.
I think it is too. I think I wound it up.
They seem to be difficult in getting events scheduled there. I think they've lost track of the fact that maybe the Ellises have their name on the outside, but we still pay a lot for that building. As a county. That Memorial Hall.
Or Laura.
Morning.
Oh, yes, 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 thank you so much. That was exactly what I needed.
Had a good football game last night. Our
Did they?
freshman JV, Labette came to town. Boys played pretty good.
Did they win?
Yeah, I think like 30, maybe 40-6 or something. I don't know, but it was, they played pretty good. Because Chinook comes to town Friday. Chinook beat Pittsburgh.
Morning, Will.
Morning, morning.
Morning.
Something I'll share with you guys. And here I pass one on. This one here is for Lynn,
Oh,
for him to sign.
never mind, I'll trade you.
Okay.
I'll give you a copy of this. This is a grant that is supported by KDM, and every year, of course, we apply for it. And it does support anything to do outside the realm of even my budget, for emergency management here in the county. And, this is just one of many forms that has to be filled out. They have to make sure that one of the things that they look at is to make sure that I am certified, which I am. That's done every 2 years. We also have to perform every year. I have to do 2 exercises, which they are both done. And then I have to prepare a 3-year calendar of exercises as well, plus a lot of other things that probably bore you to death before we got done with this. But other than that, it's something that the commissioner, chairman has to sign in order to complete the forms and submit them to the state.
And this is for the calendar year 2022?
22, yes. Yeah. It's relatively the same amount just about every year, unless a particular county of all the counties in the state drop off or they add extras, you know, then you can lower it a little bit, but it's around 17,000. One of the things that it does right off the bat is it pays the utilities out there and any upgrades we want to do to that building in the one we're in right now. So other than that, any other questions you guys might have, I'm more than willing to answer them.
Do they ever, it's one we apply every year for?
Yeah, every year, yeah. It's highly it comes from the federal government's where it comes from.
Right,
But the state gets it, and then of course they disperse it.
disperse it out to the
Yes,
counties.
yeah, but each emergency manager must qualify for the grant. And like I said, there's a lot of things that we have to do throughout the year in order to be able to qualify for it. And they give you a punch list of things that you have to do and things that they encourage you to do. Speaking to the general public, you know, I write an article every week in the paper on preparedness. You know, that's one of the things that I do. And some of the things they don't pressure you into, but that's one of them, is talking to the public, making them aware of certain things that could happen to us, you know. So it's all about preparedness, you know. That's
Too
really,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good grant, though, we get it every year.
Yep.
You have to make sure we continue.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Made a motion, right?
I need a motion for me to sign
I
that.
make a motion to allow Chairman O'Hare to sign for the application for emergency management performance grant funds for 2022.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't know you guys were moving this fast this morning. Justin had to come get
We
me.
don't waste a lot of time.
I guess not. You're doing
not
a
gonna
good
let no
job.
grass
Keep it
grow.
up. Keep things rolling. You bet. He'll be done and gone.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, Jason. So you notice that Susan's not here, she's a grandma now,
Notice that.
and she's out doing her grandmother things this week.
That's great.
You bet it is.
Grandkids are very special.
You bet. So So Ann, you're up.
Okay. I do want you to know I appreciate all that you guys do and the hard work that you put in. The only thing I was managed to get through, or it took me a while, was this loose letter that Mr. Surser handed out with the audit. Oh, maybe it is in here. I have a question in here, but anyway, I have lots of questions. And so, all in an effort to do what you all do, or do what we do, or do it better, or I'm definitely not an expert in any one of these areas, but so we'll just plunge in. I guess I'm going to wait. I would ask that we wait till the end for any other questions that I have in here, just so that I can get through it once, and then you can take the time to answer now or wait till your commissioner comments or whatever. So last week, Terry Surser reported to the county concerning the 2020 audit. I learned that even though there are things that the county is doing well, there are other issues that come up every year, and there seemed to be no avenue in which to gauge when and if these issues will be rectified. I also learned that this is not normal to have these issues in any year, never mind the fact that the majority of the findings occur year after year. I also learned that when asking for grant money, whether it be federal or state, that the ability to get accurate information is vital in the decision-making process of those that give the grants. When the county's financials are not up to date, it appears as though the county doesn't have the ability to be responsible for what is given. I heard on several occasions throughout the year that the county was passed over for some grants, and could this be the way in which the treasurer's office is operated, be part of the problem? However, it's not just the treasurer's office. There are other departments that haven't rectified issues that have been ongoing for at least 4 years. I just went back to 2017. I didn't ask for anything beyond that. Bonds are another avenue in which the county gets capital in order to finance large projects. Those that give the bonds have a rating system, and they focus on the most recent audit and findings. Fortunately, the county is in a good position as far as cash is concerned, and so the county has a better chance of getting a good rating. I went through the loose letter that Mr. Surser gave with the audit. This letter is a summary of what was found during the audit, and I took the letter and reformatted it to help me understand better what problems are in what departments. And there were some that seemed to be more of the commission's responsibility to help oversee or guide or whatever. Road and Bridge obviously is under the direct control of you guys, and I don't even know what other departments are under your direct control. I would guess maybe IT, because there's not an elected official that goes along with that, and I don't know the others. But so some of these I may be off, and I don't mind being corrected if I've got something where it's not really you all's responsibility. But preparation of financial statements, and yes, this is a review, and this is even another review. So don't fault me too much for leaving out a whole lot of information. But these are just the things that leapt out to me. If the county is unable to prepare the needed financial statements, the auditor is required to report this as a significant deficiency. Mr. Surser gave no direction on how to correct this, but my assumption is that the IRS is going to require something be done. So that's what was concerning most to me, that he labeled it as a significant deficiency, but then there was no direction. Rotation of duties. I put this here because every office needs to be exercising this, that there are, whoever works in that office understands the workings of the total office, just not their particular job or bent that they have. And I asked, are you confident this is being done? Then management representations. Says I asked for certain representations from management in a letter dated, and I don't know what letter that is. And I guess I was curious as to what are those representations. The new one that popped up this year was the Public Works billings for 2020. Large users of the landfill were not billed, and an undetermined amount of culverts were sold and installed were not billed until late 2020. The landfill billings were eventually identified. Billing began in late 2020 and continue into 2021. The Public Works Director should be active in reviewing landfill billings as well as all billings in the Road and Bridge Department. It states that the landfill billings began in late 2020, but what about for the culverts? Would anyone care to provide an explanation of how this happened? Have all bills been paid? What changes has the Public Works Department taken to ensure that this doesn't happen again? These next departments are at least 4 years old, if not longer. So we've been, what I took away a lot of from what Mr. Surser shared with us was that the IRS is going to get more heavily involved next year. And if these things aren't taken care of, I don't know what the recourse is. I don't know what the IRS does to you if these things aren't fixed. But seeing as how these are 4 years old or older, anyway. So the Department of Corrections has a continuing problem with inmate funds. One employee involved in all, they want one employee is involved in all aspects of the accounting process. And so obviously they want more than one seeing that. So you have your checks and balances. The county attorney's office has an ongoing problem with diversion funds, and it's kind of the same as the Department of Corrections. It is essential that there's proper oversight of the diversion coordinator, either by the county attorney or somebody else in the attorney's office. Responsibilities of the treasurer's office. And there are a lot, and that only, in my mind, only stands to reason that there would be a lot, seeing as how everything that the county does goes in and out of a treasurer's office. So reconciliation of cash in bank to the county's accounting records. This needs to be done in a timely fashion. Checks that are over 2 years old need to be voided. Full understanding and use of the computer software needs to be implemented, and in my opinion, now. Reconciliation of the annual tax roll needs to be printed off in a timely fashion, and reconciliation done in October after the close of the tax year. And it said October, but when in October? Do we just sit around and wait for an arbitrary date, or is there a date? Audit adjustments to the accounting records. Special care should be taken in connection with the coding of receipts and expenses in the accounting records, and Mr. Surser shared that on several occasions that that wasn't being done to the best of the office's ability. Then corrected measurements, adjusting journal entries, which were numerous, he states. The auditor went over these adjustments with the clerk and treasurer, but has a new process been implemented so that that is a more, so that's done, there again, in a timely fashion. I have an asterisk by the treasurer's motor vehicle fund. I wasn't really sure where that one belonged. It says treasurers, but as I thought about it, and it says the IRS does not allow employers to pay employees contract labor. Some travel was reimbursed at a higher rate that the IRS approved travel reimbursement. And I guess my bigger question there would be, is that being done in any apartment? Is this just the treasurer's department that he found this in, or are we paying other employees of the county contract labor? So apparently that's a no-no. I will add that Mr. Surser had the full cooperation of all staff involved. There were no disagreements, no difficulties in dealing with management, nor did management consult an outside auditor, which was that was nice. I'm glad he put that in there. The paper also reported several other quotes that Mr. Surser just, had positive comments about the whole process. But as a citizen, I grow weary of the pass the buck style of government that seems to be prevalent no matter what governmental entity you talk about. However, you are the head of the county, so therefore when things go wrong in the county, it lays at your feet. It is time for the commission to take a more active role in seeing that these issues get taken care of post haste, especially now that the IRS and federal government will be taking a more active role in how the county conducts its business and the accuracy in which it records said business. I ask that you declare a deadline and that these departments attend every county commission meeting with a report on the progress they are making until these issues are corrected. I have no idea what kinds of recourse with 4-year-old problems, job performance comes into question if they're 4-year-old problems. And then I have 5 other statements there. Until all issues are corrected, I would like to see a weekly report from each department involved. Would it be possible to withhold budget funds? And I know that's probably, until said departments are in compliance. I would also ask that either monthly or quarterly reports from all department heads be given. I know that you have a place on the agenda for elected officials' comments, but I guess I would appreciate seeing a more active role, or at least a more set schedule on who's coming and who's going to just give an update on what's happening in their department. I would also ask that consent agenda items be added to the weekly county commission agenda. I see that on every other minutes and meeting and agenda that's out there, school boards and whatever. If they don't have them right attached on there, they're attached. I know the USD 234, she attaches those on the website, so you can go in and go through them if you want to. And there needs to be, I would like to see a written policy on how this is not going to happen again. And I don't know, obviously that needs to start with departments, but guidance needs to come from you all. And I do believe things are getting better. And once again, I'm sorry that you all have to continue to clean up other people's messes. And I'm sorry, but things do need fixed, and would like to see just a more active role from you all. Okay, that's it.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'd like to comment that, as I mentioned last week, I have intention, I don't know, I'm sure other people join in. Working. Is your red light on? Yeah. As I mentioned, I'm not sure of the other two. I'm sure they'll be on board. But my goal as a new commissioner is to get Susan heavily involved and start meeting with Susan and Patty to solve these problems. There's no reason for it to happen next year. We've got people on board now. We can work together, and we will have work sessions, and we will be reporting weekly on those work sessions. I'm sure these commissioners have no intention of this happening again next year. So that's my goal.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
You got anything to say?
Well, Ann beat me to it. Because one thing I was going to request is that we have, I don't know about every week, but at least every 2 weeks, a report, requesting a report from the treasurer of this stuff being fixed. Because I know that COVID, people can make a lot of excuses for COVID, but this has been a 3 to 4 year problem, and it is potentially going to affect our grant status and bond status, and therefore, yes, I would love to see that taken care of. Again, I was probably going to say 2 weeks, but every week's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And 2 weeks is great. We just got to start a process to make it.
Well, it's already
Work.
been 1 week, so now
Yeah.
if you wait 2 more weeks,
Well,
that's 3 weeks.
Susan's off this week, so
Yes, yes,
So.
yes.
we need to make sure she's on board with us. So.
Yeah. So that's probably number one for me. I think personally, from what I'm going to go through all of this right quick, if that's okay. Commissioner responsibility, preparation of financial statements. We do have Susan involved. The thing is, if we don't have accurate information, how do we give accurate financial statements? I'll just leave it there. Rotation of duties. We can't force elected officials in how they transfer their employees and do their employees. I'm pretty sure Eric does cross-train his. For the most part, Jim probably did when he was out there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that's happened. Shane, I know most of his guys. No, Laura does too? Okay. Management representations, I don't know what that one is. Landfill, Public Works, my understanding that's taken care of. I'm pretty positive that's taken care of. Department of Corrections, I saw Bobby out there. Maybe they'll be here at elected officials. County attorneys, can't speak for them. Treasurer's Office, yes, we are going to try to oversee that as best we can with a weekly or every 2 week report on how that's being handled. Because 4 years is too much. So, is that it? I
Thank
missed
you,
something
Adam.
probably, Ian. If I did, yell at me.
I think they pretty well covered everything. We've started corrective actions prior to the audit, and when you talk about the management involvement with Terry Searcher, Susan was our coordinating person to work with Terry, and Susan did lots and lots of work on cleaning up a lot of the records. But we ran out of time. So, you know, that's the reason we have a financial director. As far as the responsibilities for the elected officials, we approve their budget. And that's about as far as we're able to do with anything with the elected officials. I can say that Ashley has now stepped up to be the county clerk, and I have all the confidence in the world that she's gonna do an excellent job, and that's gonna resolve some of her problems also. The landfill culverts, that is taken care of.
You're current with Billings from 2020?
We are current with the Billings. We may not have all the collections, but we were looking at well over $100,000 worth of receipts that weren't billed for, and that is taken care of. They have been billed.
But collections,
Well,
still.
we only can do so much on collections, you know. We're close, but we're not quite there yet. Other than that, you know, the rotation of duties, that's up to the elected officials' departments to rotate those if that's what needs to be done. I think that's about everything that I wanted to cover. Like I say, we have a plan in place, and we are going to be requesting information on a timely basis. As soon as our financial director gets back, she will be able to work with the other departments to help us go through the resolution of some of these
I know Susan's
issues.
contract is only for a year, isn't it?
No,
Oh, it's not? I
No.
thought it was. I thought it was to be reviewed on a yearly basis.
Well, yeah, we can redo it.
we can
Yeah.
we can renew it, but
Is that what you mean?
she
Well,
was
I
hired.
guess-
She was hired as a financial
Yes.
director.
Yeah.
So she's on a payroll. She doesn't get health insurance, but it's a partnership between the city and the county
Yes,
at the
yes.
moment.
So,
It's our intention that that contract will be renewed.
okay, that's what I wanted to know.
She may not think that. She may like,
There are
no.
other parties involved.
Do you hope at some point, with the duties that Susan does, to hire a separate person? I mean, that would just have their eyes on county things and not have to be doing everything that she's doing, like, for the whole county and the city and,
I think we are in discussions about that.
okay.
Yeah, we got our eye on what we need to be doing going forward, but we're not there. The timing's not right.
I understand, okay.
Laura?
Good morning.
Right.
I know you guys only need one of these, 'cause only one person needs it, but I went ahead and printed off. The state of Kansas came in here a few months ago. Normally they go through Ashley's office, and Ashley can have the original, which I have, and I'll give to her once you guys decide on what you wanna do on this. This is the State Department, State of Kansas, that came in, talked to you guys about closing that portion of Deer Road that's a kind of a dangerous corner. There's only two landowners, Glenn Oberst and Leanna Howard. Well, at first they wanted to close the entire road, and then Glenn and Leanna found out that the county would no longer maintain that road. if they closed the entire road. So they went back and talked to them again, and now they're only gonna close a portion. Well, if you look at the third page, the state of Kansas had their surveyor draw up the legal, and they got really technical. Because we have to print it, we normally don't use a meets and bounds description like this. We usually only put, it's like 750 feet by 25 feet of Deer Road on our application. We can include this as the application. I also included you guys a map there, and where they're closing it is clear, right there at the D for Deer Road.
So with the entrance into the highway.
Yes, clear to the entrance into the highway. The county would still maintain the rest of Deer Road. They're only closing about 750 feet of that road. So it just needs to go to, for you guys to finish up on the road closure. And I did not write, they put C attached. I know we have to put it in the paper, so then I wrote on a piece of paper basically the footage, and it's between two different quarter sections. If we want to put that on the application to print that, because that's what we normally do, since we have to pay to advertise the road closing. So to give to, because I don't think Ashley's ever done a road closing,
You have not.
which I do not mind helping her on since
Sure.
I'm doing the roads. I just have it's the clerk's job to do the road closing. I just get them afterwards, but I don't, we can work together on it. And since we have to pay to advertise it,
Sure, well, I would say personally that you need to go ahead and advertise it. They'll probably need,
but with the shorter, I
with a
mean,
shorter,
this,
with a shorter description.
with the shorter description instead of the
Right, because,
full
you know,
length
they had probably charged by the word.
by the words. That's why we've always just kept it short and sweet. There's only 2 landowners that it involves. And the
Sure.
reason why the state wanted to close it is because it's a dangerous intersection. And they talked to you guys about it, probably about 3 months ago. And they're just,
So I'd say
but they were gonna close the whole thing, and
I'd entertain a motion to move forward with the road closing process for the Deer Road.
Make a motion to approve the application for permanent road closure on Deer Road as outlined in the legal description on this document, as well as the legal description that Laura's going to change it to for the Kansas Department of Transportation.
Here, a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. You want this copy?
and then I would just need I guess it looks like it's all 3 of you guys to sign this.
You bet.
So,
You
this
got
is
the
the
original?
original here, so. Been working with the Troy Howard, is who I've been working with,
Okay.
so,
Thanks, Laura.
you're welcome. And then, Ashley, I'll just get with you later.
Thank
Maybe
you.
tomorrow, since you got all this today.
Thank you for helping, Ashley.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
It's a learning process, and
Go that direction, I'm gonna go the boys. Since he's wandering around.
Once the day was over, the day was over. This was interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
There was a map on there one too. All right. So you got that, budget from did you got a copy of the budget from district court that we have to sign? Oh, no? Maybe not? I know I saw it, I don't know who had it. Do I have it? I don't think I do. Well, they just had this one that, I mean, look, I might have it.
I have a conflict. I'm gonna have an executive session to, like you be.
Take a look here, guys.
And that's
Here we go.
good news what you sent.
Meet now. New message. Reply.
What?
Delete.
Hello.
What?
Archive.
I don't have it.
Junk. Audit. You forwarded this message on Wednesday, September 29th, 2021, 3:17 p.m. Terry Surser at
Oh, my God.
pad.com. Tuesday, September 28th, 2020.
Better shut the mouth. There we go. There we go. Couldn't even figure out where the stupid thing was coming from. My computer decided. Yeah, my computer decided to do things over the top.
He owes me big.
Say what? Scared me. Okay, so what we have here.
I learned that a long time.
So what we have here is we have something that we're required to do about every year, for if there's any kind of changes, or whether on the original, I guess, budget submitted for the district court. The budget numbers we provided were correct in our budget, but they wanted us to have an official signature on this budget submission as amended. So if I can get somebody to make a motion for me to sign that thing. I'll get it to Ashley and she can give it back to the district court.
I make a motion for Chairman O'Hare to sign the district court budget for submission to the state.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Looks like I'm up.
You're up.
I'm
You're
up.
up.
I'd like to request an executive session under KSA 75-4315B1 to discuss personnel matters of individual non-elected personnel to protect their privacy for performance. Three commissioners, county councilor for 10 minutes, return to this room at 10:09.
For a second.
Second.
Any discussion? I don't know. I think it came over when you handed me this one. You got yours? I didn't work it, so not mine.
We gonna vote on that?
Yeah, better vote on it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. You get it?
I pressed it.
All right.
It's go.
It's there.
Make a motion to resume normal session at 10:09, no action.
A second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Commissioners, I asked that we move my section to the end of the docket, end of the agenda, just because there's some people here that elected officials and some people that want to make comments. So I have an executive session that we'll need to go into with our appraiser and the commissioners. So I think just keep it to the end. And I have a couple of things I want to talk about in open session, but I'd like to have other people that are waiting go ahead of me.
I make a motion to move county councilor's comment to the after elected officials' comment, and I will move, actually, my motion will be to switch the county councilor comment with the elected officials' comment.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Sheriff Martin?
Is there a public comment?
I moved it.
Moved it to-
There might be,
you all talk, so that's why I don't like it there.
Right.
Because you might bring something up that I want to ask questions. Can I just ask questions anyway?
You can ask questions if you
Keep in mind, it was the elected officials that wanted to go after the public comments.
well, they're going first today.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Just a couple of things we'll get through. Back in July, and I had informed, it's even on my budgets and stuff that I had submitted. Back in July, I submitted a budget, or I'm sorry, a grant application to hire 2 additional deputies that would be assigned as drug investigators. That's all. So it's creating 2 positions within the sheriff's department through this grant. And their main focus would be, like I said, drug investigations. I don't know if you have been paying attention to the news or anything. Several weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, Neosho County made an arrest with 82 pounds of meth during a traffic stop. And then, of course, my office assisted with other state and federal agencies, intercepted 6 pounds of meth that was, I don't want to use earmarked, but was on its way to the Bourbon County area. So anyways, this past Thursday, I met with Derek Schmidt, who is part of the Kansas Criminal Justice Coordinating Council for this grant. And I would like to unofficially announce that Bourbon County Sheriff's Office was awarded $113,292 to add the additional personnel to do their drug investigations. Kind of give you kind of a history of all the agencies that applied. The total amount was $5.4 million, which far exceeded the amount of available funding of $2.3 that they were going to give out to everybody. There was 45 entities that applied for this particular grant. This grant covered all different areas, but my grant itself was focused basically on hiring and investigating criminal drug activity. So I had reached out to Ashley to discuss, since the budget's already somewhat been approved. Ashley has informed me that the budget can be modified since the mills are not being increased, and mills are remaining the same. So all we have to do is just modify the budget to show that the increase of the monies that are coming in through this grant to cover for the 2 deputies that will be coming on board. Like I said, it's a creation, not to maintain. It's to create 2 more positions with the Sheriff's Department, and the grant money will last approximately 2 years. And then at the time, we'll sit back and evaluate and figure out what we need to do. So Ashley's been aware. She will ask, how will this process work, Ashley? They just have to modify the budget and resubmit it, and you have until December 31st of this year to make those modifications or those changes, and we roll on.
So we'll work with Susan.
So, I wanted to make that announcement. The second one is that this is not to throw Commissioner Beth under the bus or anything. By any chance, I sent you 2 emails in regards to the report that was done on the roof. Have you had a chance to look at those?
I've looked at, I don't know that I got two, but I've looked.
Well, I
at
sent you, that one report I sent you September 3rd, and I hadn't heard anything from you. And I said it again on September 27th, and I hadn't heard, so I'm just verifying to see if you have received those emails.
Not
So
on the
that a time can be,
27th.
so that we can set up a time or something if you want, either an open meeting to discuss the findings, or if you want to set a time to discuss it prior to coming to an open meeting to figure out what needs to be done.
Yeah, I don't have the 27th, Bill.
Okay, that's probably when the time I got hacked and I had all the emails going out, so.
Might have been.
And you might want to check your junk mail. I have learned from other individuals that I have sent emails to follow up on things. They weren't actually getting it in their main email boxes. It was either going to their junk or spam mailboxes. So,
Yeah, typically on my phone, it all comes crossed.
but I don't know how your emails are set up as to what categories or stuff like that. So anyways, I just wanted to make the unofficial announcement of the two positions that have been created with the Sheriff's Department in regards to the grant funding. And we're looking forward to investigating criminal drug activities here in Bourbon County and assisting other agencies, surrounding agencies too.
Okay.
Any questions or?
You know, I'd like to thank you, Bill, for applying for that, and congratulations on being awarded that. I mean, I don't think we can ever have enough drug investigation in any county anymore. But my comment regarding the roof, I think we ought to act quickly on that and get that leak stopped. So hopefully we can move quickly.
Any questions or anything from the audience or anything? Anything else, gentlemen? All right, very well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sheriff, are you leaving?
Yeah, you got something, Bobby?
Pardon?
So you got anything?
I'm gonna talk about you.
Hi.
Okay, thanks, man.
Have a great day.
Okay, thanks.
Always a pleasure
All
to
right,
see you, Bobby.
pleasure to see you, Bobby.
Coming or going?
All right, you coming or going? I don't know.
Both ways.
All right, have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Are you leaving?
Yes.
Because I'm gonna talk about you.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We talked. It's nothing surprising. Shall I go?
All right,
Should I have a seat before you start talking about me? Should I stand?
Hey, you bet.
public comment.
Take it any way you want. Good morning.
Morning.
I am pleased to announce, and this is a program that I've talked to Sheriff about, having a GED program within the jail. And late last evening, I received a $1,500 donation to handle creating a GED program within the jail. It has a few criterias, and I'll have to work these out with the sheriff. They have to be incarcerated and held for what appears to be at least 60 days. If they're going to, if they're a transfer going to DOC after that, they're not going to be eligible because the DOC has a program in place. And the other criteria would be it would be more likely than not that the person would be released into Bourbon County. So I've received a $1,500 donation to cover the costs of materials, the testing, and sundry items such as that.
Good.
This is all related to the activities of the advisory board that I oversee.
Great,
Good deal.
Okay.
thanks, Michael.
And so I'll be working with the sheriff to work that out. We've talked, so this is no
Okay.
surprise, but
Yeah, this is a conversation that happened a couple of weeks ago. I believe it was during the meeting, the appointment of Ashley is when Mr. Boyd brought it to my attention. There was a program several years ago,
up here.
that they did have a GED program within the jail that was by the, I believe it was the community college that sent instructors up to teach those classes. Matter of fact, I even still have the original outline of what programs were offered to the jail at the time, when it's considered the Southeast Kansas Regional Correctional Center, because we were going to correct whatever issues that they had at that time. And that was part of the grant when they built this facility back in the 70s. So like I said, Mr. White brought it to my attention, if it's anything to do to help these inmates out to get a GED to where they can possibly go out and find a job if they meet the criteria, because they're not convicted felons, and I don't think there's an application that asks, are you convicted of a misdemeanor? I think it's are you convicted of a felony. And so, like I said, Mr. White brought to my attention during the night of Ashley's appointment as the clerk. He can do what he sees fit, and we will sit down and discuss it along with Major Reed and figure out how we're gonna move forward with that program and see what we can do.
Thank you. That's great news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, more public comments? You know, we need to get a space on here for economic development.
We do, don't we? Just make-
I'm not here. I don't present every week.
But you
Well, you're not here, you're not here?
I could.
We'd like to see you.
Would you?
Really? If you're not
More than
here,
my wife.
we'll bypass you.
So, good morning. Thank you very much. The reason why I'm here today is to request that the county commission think about, I guess, or approve. I'd like you to approve the fact the city had an NRP program, a neighborhood revitalization program. The county has one as well. For some reason, there's lapsed, and so we have to go back through the process of getting approval for those tax abatements to be given. So the county, the community college, the city itself, and then the school district. And so I'm here today to ask that you guys consider doing that again. It's a great program, offers a lot of opportunity for individuals within the city of Fort Scott to get tax abatement on developments either throughout the community for housing and commercial. So it's a great program. It's something that the city desperately needs to help with housing and commercial rehab. We've got some projects that are on hold because of the NRP being lapsed. And so if you guys would consider redoing that and agreeing to that abatement once again, I would appreciate it, and we'll move forward in reenacting the NRP program for City of Fort Scott.
So you want to find our contract for the NRP and bring it back up for us?
Rob, I have a question. Maybe I don't understand the program fully, but you mentioned the city. Why is it not county?
The county has one.
We
County
already
has
have
a
one
different-
in.
The
got a
county has
I
a
was just gonna bring
different,
it up,
Okay.
yeah.
Make sure we're,
Very good.
what our
Yeah, so
date
this
is.
would just, fall in the city limits,
For
so,
us to participate in the city area. Okay.
yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
the city.
ours is said not an abatement, ours is a refund.
Good.
Well, same program.
Is it?
So it's a
Okay.
refund. Really, it's a refund, so.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's based off the improvements made, so, yeah.
Okay, great,
Thank you.
thanks. Anything else going on, Ron?
At this time, I plead the fifth.
All right,
Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
there's tons going on, Lynn.
I know there is.
I'm gonna sit over here and be quiet though, on some of it, on most of it.
That's probably a good idea. Commissioner, county counselor, commissioner, county counselor,
I'll never
you
run for
running?
commissioner. I'm never gonna run for that office, never. For years.
I've got an executive session I need to go into, KSA 4319B4 to discuss data relating to the financial affairs or trade secrets of a corporation, partnership, trust, and individual proprietorships. That describes the reasons. I have some information that I need to keep confidential pertaining to one of our businesses here in town. I need Matt, our county appraiser, and if Rob Harrington wants to come in, he can too on that. But I need probably 7 minutes.
Okay.
Make a motion to go into executive session under KSA 754319B4 to discuss data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships. 3 commissioners, County Councilor Meeks, appraiser, Mr. Quick, and Rob Harrington for 7 minutes. We'll return here at, do I wait 10 seconds?
I'd wait 10 seconds.
Okay.
10 minutes.
I don't think Mr. Hoy would object to that. No.
there a second?
Second.
Nope, I'm not done yet.
Oh, you're not?
Oh, not
Oh,
done
you're
yet.
thinking about it. Okay.
We'll return
Oh, yeah.
here at 10:31.
10:31, okay, fine.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. button?
Yep.
There we go.
There is a.
Make a motion to
Oh, sorry.
resume normal session at 10:31, no action.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Your turn.
Thank you. I always jump the gun, and I'm sorry about that. I always do that. I've got a personnel issue, and I think we can talk about it a little bit in open session if we need to go into executive session for the other two commissioners to kind of know what exact personnel we're talking about. We can do that. There is a letter has been written by the chairman with regards to some information that wants to be disseminated from the city to the county. This is the first time we've ever had this issue where in this case, there's no MOU. This is a county employee, and the city's wanting them to sign a document, basically. And that, I'm not comfortable with that because they're not really a city employee at all. They have no MOU. There's no shared services or anything of that nature. So,
Probably should go into executive session
okay.
a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of
Personnel.
that's what we're talking about and when we go into executive session, so we can name names, but.
Right.
So I'll make a motion to go into executive session, KSA 75-4319B1, to discuss personal matters of individual non-elected personnel to protect their privacy. It'd be 3 commissioners and just
Myself. And they'll have to be action when you come out.
and County Councilor Meeks, and we will go for
5 minutes.
5 minutes. We return here at 10:37.
There's a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carries. I'm tired today.
Make a motion to resume normal session at 10:37 with action.
There a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Make a
So
motion.
I'm,
Go ahead.
I'm requesting a motion to allow me to send a letter to the city, interim city manager on a HR issue.
I make a motion to allow Chairman O'Hare to send a letter to the interim city manager concerning an HR issue with the county employee.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I was called by the interim city manager last week. I sent him an email concerning an MOU for the HR director that would be shared by the county and the city. We need to clean that contract up. There's some errors. I take responsibility for those. It was something we needed to do quickly, but we'll get it cleaned up and get it back to you all to sign. It hasn't been, signed by both parties yet. It's still not into agreement yet. It does have a January 1 start date, so we have a lot of time before it comes into action. So if and when that time comes before that date to get that signed, we can get that done. So that's still in our world right now with everything going on. That's a long time from now. So we'll get that cleaned up and get it back to the city whenever that time happens.
Okay.
So just
Maybe
kind
our
of.
recording might have stopped.
Says it's live.
Is it? Okay. Just a video on our side.
Right.
Then, okay, great. I noticed,
Yeah, it's working.
okay, we're good.
There was some one last comment. There were some administrative things that we took care of this week. I did talk to the chairman about. It's nothing that just day-to-day operational things that the other commissioners. I mean, it's just goings on that we handled. I mean, we could talk about it in executive session if need be, but it's handled and taken care of. And I talked to the chairman yesterday about it, so we've got it handled. It was a landfill issue, and it's resolved.
Not a problem.
And if we can go and talk about it if you want, but
No, you don't need to.
no, I mean, it's nothing,
Is it
earth-shaking.
operational part or personnel?
Operational. Just some billing, things like that. I mean, that's the thing about, if we talked about all this, I mean, it would take days. I mean, it's just an operational issue that was about a billing practice, and it needed some tweaking, and we took care of it. So it got resolved this morning.
Cool. All right.
So I'm going to amend the agenda to allow Patty Love our treasurer, to talk. She missed the executive session for it. So I'd make a motion to amend the agenda to allow our treasurer to have a little time at the podium.
There a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. No.
Kim says it's going.
Morning.
Ready for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to let you know a few of the things I've been working on the last week and everything, addressing problems with the audit. On the balancing the tax roll, I've got all the reports ran, and I'm working on that. And we'll be doing that, the rest of the week, and hopefully first part of next, or the end of next week, we'll have that balance. And that's one of the big things we need to adjust. I've got the August bank recs here. They're done and balanced. And we're working on the ACH account, which was an account that had been set up that all the HCHs went in, was a separate account. So we were taking things out of there, making sure everything was right there, and then moving them over to the other account, then having to adjust it there. We're doing away with that account because it's been a problem all along.
Yes, it has.
We've got it down to where I think by the end of this month, we will be rid of it. We're moving everything over, having that taken care of. So that'll be one less problem. Waiting for the September statements, bank statements to come in. We've got things adjusted and everything, ready to process that, and we'll see a big improvement there. And are rid of some of our outstanding things. Let's see here. And in the audit, there was a statement about contract labor coming out of the motor vehicle fund, and I couldn't figure out what that was. I've done some investigating. Lynn, you probably remember this. At one time, they had set up a service award trying to reward the people in the motor vehicle department that had been here several years, because, again, we've got a problem because the person that walks in the door is making the same thing as the person that's been there a while. So the previous treasurer had set up this award, service award, out of this account where there was a little bit of an award based on the amount of years they'd been here. But then last year, we talked about the, the bonus you guys are giving at the end of the year.
Longevity.
Longevity, I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. And when you guys went to that, I agreed we'd get rid of the other. So that won't come up again because this last year, we got rid of that. So that's something that shouldn't show up again. And actually, when the previous treasurer set that up, she talked to the people at the state and they said it was okay. So we could probably argue that, you know, one way or the other, but it's done now and we're rid of it. And we're working on the list of outstanding checks. I'll have that to you next week so you can do the resolution, so we'll get those written off. So just wanted to let you know what we're working on. We're moving ahead, you know.
Thank
so,
you.
and if you guys have any questions, you know.
Ashley's part of the reconciliation process, right?
Okay, well, she has an account in her department that she reconciles, the payroll and payables account. That's separate from the accounts that I reconcile.
Okay.
Okay? So, but, you know, if anybody has any questions, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
All right, we're up to commissioner's comments.
I don't have anything.
How about you, Clifton?
Nope.
Think about something.
He was.
No, I don't have any.
Okay, so I don't have anything.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And real. All right.